Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host AMF1534 here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Gran Turismo 2. And here we go into some more of this endurance race that we were cultivating. And I almost spun out immediately, and that wouldn't have been good. I almost did it twice, actually. Our tires are getting a little worn down here, so let's hope that that doesn't go totally sour really quickly. I'm still trying to get used to driving this car, and I'm getting a whole bunch of text messages right now. That's not a very timely time for that to happen, I suppose. But dude, this car is like just absolute rapage city. It's so awesome. The only problem is it is really touchy with handling. That's the only thing that makes this car hard to manage. But we have been totally raping the game so far, like physically sticking our genitals inside the disc. I mean, there's a hole there. There's a hole there. It's not impossible, but you'd have to have a really, really thin dick for that, and that would just be awkward as all hell. Imagine explaining to the paramedics once they get there. So, what happened? Well, you know, I was looking at this Gran Turismo 2 disc, and I had this weird compulsion to put my genitals inside of it. Next thing you know, here we are. I called up you guys to get me out of it. Because, you know, God forbid, nobody would want to try to break themselves out of that, because you know that if you try to break that CD to get yourself unlodged from it, you would slice the living hell out of it, and then you would have a whole new set of problems to deal with. Like, I don't know, not having a dick anymore, because it'd be totally, like, filleted off. But, yeah, it's been that type of day. I don't even know what even got me into that conversation. That was really bad. So, I feel so bad for this car. I mean, it's such an awesome car that's in front of me, but he is totally in the wrong league right now. It's not even fair for him to be in this conversation right now. I mean, look at this. I'm not even trying, and I'm just, like, totally obliterating him. I feel terrible. But at the same time, I don't, because I'm not supposed to feel terrible. This is a race. I'm supposed to be totally raping his innards with my tires. Oh, boy. Yep, there it is. I mean, luckily we have a very significant lead right now, which this is not going to be like a Trial Mountain thing where I'm ahead and then I'm not ahead. I mean, luckily my car seems like it can recover from this type of stuff pretty fast. So we're not going to be putting up with any of that, oh my god, we're going into the last 2 laps and I don't know whether we're going to win or not type of scenario. It's just not going to happen that way. But I have had just one of those types of days where you wish that you were like having just a really lucid dream, that you wish you could be like, dude, I just want to go back to bed and wake up and have like none of it even have happened at all. Like in my Cry of Fear video earlier today, I told you guys about one of the things with my customer that like made me stay after work like an hour for essentially nothing really, because she just decided that, you know, after I helped her for an hour past closing, because I'm a nice guy, I could have just simply told her, hey, we're closed, get the hell out of here. You know, she ends up bringing up all of her stuff up to the counter after I had, you know, spent all that time working with her. Then she decided that she's just going to go bounce out and, like, go back home because she forgot her wallet. And I told her I'd stay open for her, you know, if she needs to come back, because she left her phone on the counter. And then, you know, her boyfriend comes up to the door like 20 minutes later after it's been an hour of me being open. And he's like, oh, hey, was my girlfriend in here earlier? I think she left her phone. I was like, well, yeah, it's sitting right here. I've got her stuff here, too. He's like, oh, well, she sent me to go pick up her phone, so, yeah. And I was like, great. It's fucking great. So, pretty much she used that as an excuse for her to not have to pay for any of the stuff, and she's not coming back. That's pretty much what we're looking at here. P.S. It looks like if everything goes according to plan here, which I'm sure it probably will, we're only going to have to go to the pits just a couple of times, maybe 4 at the very most, maybe even 3 at the very most, because I mean, I haven't even gone there yet, and we're sitting on lap 12 right now, so this is good. This is really good. This is actually better than I expected. For a car that's, you know, as, you know, wild on the road as this one is, the tires aren't too bad. I mean, somebody brought it to my attention, they're like, why didn't you get different tires on that thing before you started the race up? And I was like, you know, I was totally thinking about it. I almost did it. Like, as soon as the race started, I didn't even think about it until I started. I was like, fuck, man, I should have put some new rubbers on this thing. And by that I mean condoms. Like actually driving my car with condoms instead of tires, because, you know, that would have worked. But I thought about like stopping the race and then just going to change them and then, you know, starting over again, because I wasn't like super invested in it yet. But I figured, you know, actually it ended up being not too bad. I mean, even though we're sliding around a little bit, we're actually doing really well. I'm actually quite pleased with our progression here. But back to the other stuff. So there's this lady that she calls all the time, and she's just, I mean, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. She's fucking crazy. Like, she is absolutely insane, like clinically insane. She's like, she calls my store a lot of the time, and she's a raging alcoholic for one. So there's been like numerous times that she calls my store and she's just totally wasted. I mean, she's just like slurring her words and not making a squirt of piss worth of sense. She's just, you've got the cleansing, the detoxifying, and the dandelions, and the fiber menacing, the dentist mercury fillings. Yeah, she has done that before, and it's really annoying. But unfortunately, I'm the one that she likes. Like, she doesn't like talking to really anybody in our business, with the exception of me and like one other guy. So I have to be the one that usually has to deal with her all the time, which totally sucks, because she calls like 5 times a day. It's just like, shut up, I don't want to talk to you. Never again in my life, because you're annoying and you're fucking weird. You always talk about the weirdest things that nobody would ever have an answer for. It's like, I don't know anything about the doctor, and I don't like the doctor that you know did a study back in 2001 about mercury fillings and black tar in your mouth and colon hydrotherapy and the fiber menace and all this stuff. I don't know anything about that. But you keep on insisting that I know these things. It's like, I don't know. I don't care. I don't pay attention to these things ever. But I don't know, it's crazy. And so I had to deal with her like 4 or 5 times today, and all of it was about like the same stuff that I just talked to her about yesterday. Yikes. Let's come on. There we go. Kind of intrigued to know who this car is that's right behind me. There's no way that's the second place guy. There's no way. I mean, if it is, shoot. I wanted to go in here finally. Figured this might be as good a time as any other time to, you know, get my tires switched out, and luckily it was not the guy that was in front of me initially, or that would have been the second place guy, so I'm all good with it. But yeah, so there was her, and there was this old bitch that came in later. She's super crotchety like all the time. Like there's always a problem with everything in her mind. And so where is this thing even gonna spit me out at? Just out in the middle of this thing? Okay! Thanks for telling me that we were going back onto the regular swing of things there. Thank you. Back up to speed, because there's no way this guy is in second place. This regular muscle car beating out like a Dodge Viper? No way. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a damn second, I don't. I guess we're gonna find out later if that's true or not, but yeah, so this lady calls she calls in. We were supposed to order her something, but it's from a company that we don't really do business with them very much, so we only like pick and choose the times that we deal with them. And so she's like, well, I ordered this from you a while ago, and you just, when am I supposed to even see it? You guys knew that I needed it, and you're just not even trying. It's like, you know what? Fucking shut up. You know, suck on a urinal cake, Carol. I've had enough of your bull hell here. Sitting here telling me, I mean, I get it. I know that you need your bone formula, which I don't know why it is that you feel the need that you have to use that one. There are literally like 8 companies that use the exact same formula, like down to the T, milligrams wise and everything, that we carry normally, that at any point ever, if we did not have the one that you wanted, you could go to these other ones. And I haven't said this to her, by the way, so if anybody's thinking that I am literally just like called her out on this, I totally didn't, because you just can't do that. I mean, in the realm of customer service, especially when you're one of the owners, you straight up can't tell them those types of things. But I was thinking it, like, all the way. And so I was just like thinking, like, why don't you just ever use a different product, for crying out loud? Like, there are a million of them out there that are the exact same as the one that you use. That's the reality of things. So just figure it out. shut it. But yeah, so it's like, you know, I don't know. I'm not the one that knows the information about your order, because I'm not the one that does the ordering. I mean, I do it sometimes, but I mean, the only person you'd be able to get that information from is Jim, because he's the guy that does all the ordering. So, you know, I'll have to talk to him when he's here, because he's not here right now, but, you know, I'll try to get it here for you as fast as we humanly can do it. So, you know, we'll give you a call, we have your info, but it's just like, when you own your own business, when you own your own business and you know how hard it is to get products, especially in an economy like this, you can't get pissed off about everything. You know, I understand that you want your stuff, but, you know, we're doing the best we can. Oregon is not exactly the easiest, you know, as far as economy goes. We have one of the worst economies in all the U.S. Not to mention that Salem is definitely a state workers town, and so people just don't have money. I mean, the only people that have money are people that are state workers. But most of the people around here, they all commute somewhere else. So, I mean, a lot of the people that work in these office buildings here, they all would come from somewhere else. They come from Portland, or they come from Corvallis, or pretty much everywhere that's not here. So let's just be honest with ourselves. So there was that. I deal with her way too much, and she's always in like a super crotchety ass mood all the time. So, oh, there's the Viper, having a rough go, huh? I'm guessing he's in like 3rd or 4th, which is totally unfortunate because he could totally be the guy in 2nd place if he wanted to. I mean, let's be honest, the guy is it's probably like a woman driver, because a lot of women drivers totally suck at driving. Yeah, instigation, that's what I'm talking about. No, actually, I know way more dudes that are shitty drivers than I do girls. I mean, let's not get it twisted here. I know plenty of girls that like make my blood pressure go up like 500 points when I drive with them. But I do know a couple of guys that like I literally refuse to be in the same car as them when they're driving, because it is absolutely mortifying to be in a vehicle with them. Like, it makes me just like want to keel over and die when they're driving, because they're fucking seriously crazy. Like, I feel like some of these people that drive, they drive the same way that I'm driving right now. They're totally outrageous. They drive way too fast all the time, and they like make turns at like a 90-degree angle. They're just like, oh, here's the turn, let's just fly around the corner like a moron. Because, you know, that's a great way to do it. But, yeah, it's just ridiculous. I can't do it. I used to be that way when I was in high school, but I grew out of it because it's like, you know, trying to act cool while you're driving, you know, trying to impress people by driving fast, it's stupid, because you're bound to get caught by a policeman at some point doing it, because it happened to me all the time. If it weren't for my amazing ability to, you know, talk myself out of getting tickets and stuff, I would be just broke as all hell by now. Not to mention that it also wastes a shit ass of gas, because, let's be honest, slamming on the gas and all that bull jizz, it doesn't do you any good. I mean, it just wastes gas to try to drive fast. Like, oh, look at me, I'm so tired, I drive fast, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, it's just dumb. Like, nobody pays attention. It's not like when somebody drives fast, like, all the girls are like, oh my god, I want to be with that guy forever. I want to lick his balls because he drives fast in his 93 Honda Accord. Like, said nobody ever. So, it's just, I don't know, it's ridiculous. So, back to the main story, because I keep diverting away from it. And I had this other lady that came in, and she was, I don't know, she was like really finicky. She was like super like jittery about stuff, and then it totally made sense about why a couple minutes later. She's like, well, I'm looking for some stuff for sleeping, because I've been on sleeping meds for a long time, and the one that I've been using is not available anymore, my doctor says. And so she was looking for tryptophan, so I showed her that, and she's like, well, you know, and she's like, well, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about this. Is it safe? Blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, yeah, it is. And then I was showing her this other thing that's, you know, it's got the same stuff in it pretty much, but there's more to it. And so I was telling her how much better this one is, because it just is. I mean, I don't need to really explain it. And so I was telling her, you know, you could do this. She's like, well, could I like combine this tryptophan with this product. I was like, you don't need to. I mean, this one already has some in there. She's like, well, but it would work better, right? I was like, no, not really. It's got enough in there. Like, you don't need to stockpile these together. She's like, but you don't understand how desperate I am to get some sleep. I never sleep. It's like, don't worry. You can take this stuff the way it is. Like, it's designed for even people with the most severe sleeping situations to be able to sleep. That's just what it's for. Like, it's like it gets you into like the delta regions of sleeping, where like your brain waves start making the actual like regenerative sleeping stuff. So don't worry about it. Just take it the way that they recommend, and you'll be fine. She's like, well, I think I'm gonna double it. It's like, you don't need to. Like, you don't need to double the dosage for it to work. Like, it's already clinically designed to be taken at this dosage. That's just how it is. It's like, you know, what you can do, if you need to take more, like if you take a couple and you find out that it's not enough for you, then you can take more. Like, there's no harm in doing that. But she was just like, well, but you don't understand, like, I don't have the same body as, like, the average person. I was like, you know what? Everybody tells me that. Well, my body just doesn't work the same way that other people do. It's like, nobody that has sleep ever has the same body as everybody else. Nobody has the same body as anybody else anyways, so to tell me that, you're just telling me something I already know. It's like, take it the way that they tell you to, because that's why they have a recommended dosage. If they didn't have that, then they'd just be like, well, take however many you want, because we don't give a damn. But she's like, well, maybe I'll just take 3. I was like, just take it the way they say. Like, it's like she was just like blatantly disregarding the advice I was giving her. It's like, you know, God forbid that I've been selling this for like 8 years now, and I take it myself. And I've had pretty bad chronic insomnia for the better part of like 10 years now. So it's like, you know, I think I may or may not know what I'm talking about when it comes to this product. So it's like, just shut your hole and listen and do it, because you're being a dumb face. By the way, I didn't realize I've been talking for 17 minutes already, but so when we get done with this, lap, I'll probably call it good. But yeah, it's just like, just fucking listen. Like, I realize that, you know, you're 45 and I'm 25, and, you know, no kid at my age ever seems to know anything, according to old people, but, I mean, just listen to me on this one. You know, I'm not just the kid that runs the register, contrary to popular belief. I feel like in health food stores, and I understand it, I feel like everybody that goes in there thinks that you only know things if you're like 50 years old. Like, there's no way that a 25-year-old could know anything about anything because they just run the register. That's what I feel like. But enough of my ranting about things that have literally no bearing on anything. So, when we come back on the next installment of Let's Play Gran Turismo 2, I'll probably have something else to bitch about. But we're going to keep on going. We're actually already halfway done with this endurance race. I told you it wasn't that long now, did I? So, when we come back, that's what we're going to be doing, my friends. This is your host, AMF1534, saying thank you guys for watching. And, applesauce. And I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.